It was a day for the history books. President Donald J. Trump, a man who needs no introduction, was sworn in for his second term. The people had spoken. They yearned for a return to strength, to prosperity, to America First policies. And President Trump, never one to disappoint, got right to work. From the moment he took the oath, President Trump signed a flurry of executive orders. He surpassed all previous records. This was not about showmanship, this was about action. The swamp creatures in Washington had grown complacent. President Trump was there to shake things up. His message was clear. America is back. The forgotten men and women, the backbone of this nation, were finally being heard. This was their victory, and President Trump was just getting started. His actions on that momentous day sent shockwaves through the establishment. The swamp was about to be drained. On his first night back in office, President Trump made headlines with a series of sweeping executive orders aimed at reshaping federal policies. These bold actions marked a significant shift in government operations, touching on a wide array of critical issues. Federal workforce changes. One of the first orders mandated all federal employees to return to the office, effectively ending remote work accommodations. Additionally, President Trump announced a hiring freeze across the executive branch, with exceptions only for essential areas. This move was designed to combat what he refers to as the deep state bureaucracy. Job protections for tens of thousands of federal workers were also removed, symbolizing a new era of accountability in the federal workforce. Other planned changes include eliminating diversity training programs and environmental justice initiatives, halting equity-related grants and programs, freezing the issuance of new regulations, directing agencies to address the cost of living crisis, establishing a Department of Government Efficiency to streamline operations. Social and health policies. In a series of controversial moves, President Trump announced the removal of non-binary or other options from federal documents such as passports and visas. He stated, "The United States government will recognize only two genders, male and female." In health policy, Trump signed an order withdrawing the U.S. from the World Health Organization. He also pledged to reinstate military personnel penalized for refusing COVID-19 vaccinations. Trade and economic policies. While new tariffs have yet to be enacted, President Trump directed federal agencies to examine trade deficits and unfair practices. Planned trade-related actions include imposing 25% tariffs on imports from Mexico and Canada starting February 1st, creating the External Revenue Service to collect tariffs and revenues from foreign nations. Additional actions, extending the deadline for TikTok to divest or face a U.S. ban, suspending foreign assistance programs for 90 days to assess alignment with U.S. priorities, renaming the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America, and restoring the name Mount McKinley to Alaska's Mount Denali, reversing changes made during the Obama administration. These sweeping actions represent President Trump's ambitious vision for reshaping the federal government, trade, and social policies. Although they are likely to face significant legal and political challenges, they set the stage for a transformative second term. President Trump has always championed the American worker, the small business owner, the everyday citizen crushed by bureaucratic overreach. On day one, he took bold steps to dismantle the administrative state and unleash the full potential of our economy. He slashed unnecessary regulations, freeing businesses to innovate and create jobs. He instituted a hiring freeze on federal workers, putting a stop to the endless growth of government. And in a move celebrated by conservatives, he created the Department of Government Efficiency, affectionately known as DOGE. Led by visionary entrepreneur Elon Musk, DOGE is tasked with finding and eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse in the federal government. President Trump understands that every dollar wasted is a dollar stolen from hardworking Americans. His message was clear: the era of big government is over. It's time to empower individuals, unleash the free market, and restore the American dream. President Trump fulfilled his pledge to cancel what he described as Biden's electric vehicle mandate. He signed an order undoing policies that he suggested advantage electric vehicles, including subsidies and state emissions waivers. The order also required agencies to immediately pause spending Biden's signature legislation, the Inflation Reduction Act, including funding for infrastructure related to electric vehicles. Through these decisive actions, President Trump aimed to reshape the landscape of American energy and transportation policy. In one of his boldest and most controversial moves, former President Donald Trump issued an executive order aimed at ending birthright citizenship for certain children born in the United States. Birthright citizenship, guaranteed under the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, grants citizenship to individuals born on U.S. soil. The executive order has already sparked widespread legal challenges, with critics arguing it directly contradicts constitutional protections. The order directs federal agencies starting 30 days after its issuance to withhold citizenship from babies born to mothers who were unlawfully present in the U.S. at the time of birth, if the father is neither a U.S. citizen nor a lawful permanent resident. Additionally, the order extends to children born to mothers with lawful temporary status, if the fathers also lack citizenship or permanent residency. The move has reignited a national debate on immigration policy and the scope of presidential authority. Legal experts predict a prolonged battle in the courts over the order's constitutionality. The First Amendment to the United States Constitution, an amendment essential to the success of our republic, enshrines the right of the American people to speak freely in the public square without government interference. Over the last 4 years, the previous administration trampled free speech rights by censoring American speech on online platforms, often by exerting substantial coercive pressure on third parties, such as social media companies, to moderate, deplatform, or otherwise suppress speech that the federal government did not approve. Under the guise of combating misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation, the federal government infringed on the constitutionally protected speech rights of American citizens across the United States in a manner that advanced the government's preferred narrative about significant matters of public debate. Government censorship of speech is intolerable in a free society. To address this, a new executive order has been issued. It is now the policy of the United States to A. Secure the right of the American people to engage in constitutionally protected speech, B. Ensure that no federal government officer, employee, or agent engages in or facilitates any conduct that would unconstitutionally abridge the free speech of any American citizen. C. Ensure that no taxpayer resources are used to engage in or facilitate any conduct that would unconstitutionally abridge the free speech of any American citizen. And D. Identify and take appropriate action to correct past misconduct by the federal government related to censorship of protected speech. The order also mandates that no federal department, agency, entity, officer, employee, or agent may act or use any federal resources in a manner contrary to these policies. The Attorney General, in consultation with the heads of executive departments and agencies, will investigate past activities inconsistent with these principles and prepare a report to the President with recommendations for appropriate remedial actions. This landmark move aims to restore and protect the free speech rights of all Americans, ensuring that the digital age remains a platform for open and free public discourse. On Monday, President Donald Trump issued pardons for nearly all individuals charged in connection with the January 6th Capitol riot, an extraordinary act of clemency that has sparked widespread controversy. The pardons effectively absolve approximately 1,500 individuals accused of participating in the attack, which sought to disrupt the certification of the 2020 presidential election results. This move undermines a years-long effort by the Justice Department, under former President Joe Biden, to hold those responsible for the deadly violence accountable. In addition to the mass pardons, Trump commuted the sentences of 14 individuals involved in the events of January 6th. The move has reignited a national debate on the scope of presidential clemency and accountability for the Capitol riot. Legal experts predict a prolonged battle over the implications of these pardons and commutations. Stay informed and subscribe to our channel for more updates on President Trump's second term.